Ever feel like your Japanese sentences are a bit plain? Well, today we're going to fix that. We're going to level up your descriptive skills by learning how to modify nouns. We'll go from just saying a person to describing an interesting person, or even a person who is reading a book. Let's dive right in.
So, let's kick things off with a little challenge. How would you say this in Japanese? A person who likes cats. Just take a moment to think about it. If you're not quite sure, hey, don't worry about it. By the end of this, you'll know exactly how to say it and a whole lot more.
Today we're going to break down 3 really simple but incredibly powerful ways to add more detail to your nouns. Getting the hang of these is going to make your Japanese sound so much more expressive and honestly just more natural. All right, first things first, we have to start with the foundation. Let's look at the most basic way to describe something, using good old adjectives. The rule here is actually super simple and you'll love this. In Japanese, it works just like it does in English. The adjective comes right before the noun it's describing. It's a direct, one-to-one connection. And you can see the structure right here. It's just so clean and straightforward. Adjective plus noun. That's it. Let's see what this looks like in a real sentence. Okay, here's a perfect example. 彼女は優しい先生です. She is a kind teacher. The adjective yasashi, which means kind, is right there describing the noun sensei, the teacher. And there's the formula in action. You've got yasashi plus sensei, and that gives you yasashi sensei. See? Simple, direct. I bet you've actually been doing this already without even thinking too hard about it. All right, you ready to level up? Let's kick it up a notch and see how we can do the same thing, but this time using verbs to add detail. Now, this is where your Japanese starts to get really flexible.
So, here's the core concept. You can take a whole descriptive phrase, like a little mini-sentence, and use it to modify a noun. The only rule is that the verb in that phrase has to be in its plain or dictionary form. This is perfect for talking about people's habits or things that are always true.
Now, the structure might look familiar, but instead of just one adjective, you have this whole descriptive chunk ending with a plain form verb. And that entire thing goes right before the noun you're talking about. Hey, remember that puzzle from the beginning? Well, here's your answer. 彼女は猫が好きな人です. She is a person who likes cats. See how that works? We just used a whole phrase to describe the person. Let's just break that down real quick. The entire phrase, neko ga suki, which means likes cats, is basically acting like one giant adjective. It's all describing the hito, or person. This is such a powerful tool for adding really specific details.
Okay, on to our third and final method. And this one is fantastic for describing what somebody is doing right now or the state that they're in at this very moment.
This pattern uses the teiru form of a verb. You probably know this as the equivalent of the ing form in English. When you stick this right before a noun, you're describing that person or thing by what it's currently doing or its ongoing state. So the structure is exactly the same as before, but this time we're using a verb in its teiru form. Let's make this clear with a solid example.
彼はメガネをかけている先生です.
He is the teacher who is wearing glasses. This is so useful for pointing someone out in a crowd, right? You're not just saying he's a teacher, you're saying he's the one currently wearing glasses. So you can see the entire action phrase, megane o kakete iru, is modifying sensei. The state of wearing glasses becomes the key detail that identifies that teacher in that specific moment. Excellent work! We've covered our 3 key patterns now. So, let's do a quick recap and see how they all stack up against each other, side by side. This slide really brings it all home. Just look at the different shades of meaning. On the left, you've got a general quality, omoshiroi hito, an interesting person. In the middle, it's more of a permanent trait, a habit, neko ga suki na hito, a person who likes cats. And all the way on the right, it's a temporary action, hon o yonde iru hito, a person who is reading a book right now. And there you have it. You know, mastering these 3 patterns is a huge step forward. It takes you from just naming things to actually truly describing the world around you. It's going to make your Japanese so much richer and more nuanced. So, I'll leave you with a little challenge. Look around you, right now. Can you describe someone using one of the patterns we just learned? Are they a kind person? A person who drinks coffee? Or maybe a person who is looking at their phone? Give it a shot. Thanks for joining me.